Hello everyone, Jonathan here. I've been asked to talk to you about my home country. Now, some of you, well, if you're one of my students, you'll probably know. If you're not one of my students, you might be able to tell just from the accent alone, I don't come from Russia. I come from England. Great Britain, but England specifically. A lot of people think that I come from London. They are very, very wrong. In fact, the only reason that most people think I'm from London is because that's one of the only places in England most people can name. There is London, inside of London. Maybe some people will know Liverpool because of the Beatles, but most people don't know anywhere else. I come from a small town called Shrewsbury. Shrewsbury is very close to the Welsh border, but it is definitely in England, not Wales. But it is a gorgeous town. At one point, it was a capital of a kingdom. Not to go too much into English history, but it used to be that there wasn't one country, the United Kingdom or Great Britain. There were about 7 or 8 of them. One of them, Shrewsbury, was the capital of. As such, we have a castle that is over 1,000 years old. I think it's around 1,500 years old at this point. And is beautiful and gorgeous. In fact, my town is exactly those 2 words. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. It's exactly what you imagine when you think of an old English town. It has such a Victorian feel to it, Victorian being about 300-400 years ago, that it was used to film a Christmas Carol in England, in Shrewsbury. I like watching that movie because I get to watch my hometown and see all the places that I grew up around. But anyway, I'm super interested to find out what you have to say about where you live, because I've been here for a while, but there's a lot more that you could be telling me.
Hello everyone, it's great to see you. Today we have a great question. I'm going to tell you about my country. I am from the 2nd biggest country in the world. I am from Canada. There we speak 2 national languages, English and French. And Canada is not ran by a president. We are actually a country which is ran by a prime minister. A prime minister is the head of the government, where the Queen of England is head of the state. Canada has many, many lakes, more lakes than the rest of the world combined. There we're enriched with Rocky Mountains, so it's a perfect destination to go skiing or snowboarding, as well as we are known for many sports. We invented basketball, we invented hockey, although I think Russians are now more talented than our hockey players. We were the first ones to put pineapple on pizza, and our national flag consists of red and white. Why? Because the red represents love and white is for freedom. Also, our national flag has the maple leaf, and it has the maple leaf because we continue to produce 3/4 of the world's maple syrup. That's 75%. Also, we were the first country to sign a multicultural agreement, meaning it's very easy for people to immigrate to Canada, and that's why our country consists of 20% immigrants. That's 1/5. So we only have 37 million people for being the 2nd biggest country in the world. Our country is divided up into 10 provinces and 3 territories. The provinces being on the bottom, the territories being on the top. Also, we are surrounded by 3 oceans, which are the Arctic, Atlantic, and the Pacific, which is why our motto is from sea to sea. In Canada, we have a national dish there called poutine. Poutine is a dish made up of French fries, cheese curds, and gravy. Okay, thank you, and what can you tell us about your country?
Hey guys, what's up? It's your favorite teacher, Nick, with you again. Now today I don't actually have a question. I have a quite important statement, which I would like you guys to implore. The statement is very easy. Tell me a little bit about your country. Now, as most of you already know, but I will reiterate what I have already said in the past, I didn't spend most of my life in Russia. Actually, I spent a very small minority of my life in Russia. The vast majority of my life was spent in other countries. And the country that I think I have the brightest memories of is Spain. So I would like to talk about Spain. Now, As I already know, most of you have visited Spain, you guys have attended events in Spain, some of you have even attended football matches in Spain, which I think is absolutely flabbergasting because you guys, I had never thought you guys would leave Russia just to see a football match. It's incredible in my mind. But I lived in Spain and I saw the football, and I must agree with you guys, compared to Russian football, Spanish football is just the best thing you can see. It's a work of art. It's an absolute chef-d'oeuvre. And that is why, one of the reasons why I loved Spain is because we always had something to watch on television which was incredibly entertaining. There is always a football match. The other reason why I also liked Spain so much was because the climate. You guys have rain 99% of the time, and it is almost depressing. And you guys know this. You guys agree with me on this. That is why most Russian people actually go to Spain during summer. I'm sure you guys too. However, the weather is not the only good factor about Spain and not the only aspect I would describe. Spain is also a country made up of very outgoing, very flamboyant people who love to talk and who love to party. Unlike other nations, and I'm not only saying this, you guys know this. So if I asked you guys, tell me a little bit about your country that you find interesting and possibly even unique. What can you tell me?
Hello, how are you doing? I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well as well. Eddie here again to talk to you about an interesting topic. Today's topic is my home country. Now, a lot of you will know that I am from New Zealand, and a lot of you will know that it is an English-speaking country. But what else do you know about New Zealand? Well, it is an English-speaking country, but in fact we have 3 official languages. We have English, of course, Maori, which is the native language of the native people of New Zealand, and New Zealand Sign Language. But realistically, everybody mostly speaks English. Now, you may also know that it is quite a small country, and it is. There is about 4 to 4.5 million people in the whole of New Zealand, which means that it's much smaller than just the city of Moscow. It is also very far away. To get to Moscow from my hometown in the south of New Zealand, I was flying in an aeroplane for about 23 hours, which is not fun. In New Zealand, we love to play sports. We're very good at cricket, we're very good at rowing, but in particular, New Zealand is obsessed with rugby. Everybody in New Zealand loves rugby, most people play rugby, and our national team, the All Blacks, is the best in the world. New Zealand is also known for our beautiful nature. There are 2 main islands in New Zealand where the people live. The North Island is nice and warm, where most of the people live, but there are also lots of volcanoes. The South Island is larger, but less warm, and a little bit more rainy, but it is particularly beautiful. In the South Island, we have beautiful mountain ranges, lots of forests and fjords, and beautiful coastline and beaches. Less people live in the South Island, but that is where I am from. I am from a small town in the south of the South Island called Invercargill. Invercargill is right on the Pacific Ocean at the bottom of the island, and it's one of the southernmost cities in the world. For these reasons, lots of people visit New Zealand as tourists every year. And if you want to sit in an aeroplane for 23 hours, you can come and visit New Zealand as well.